Hello, welcome to my session on 4 simple steps to double your sales. My name is Bernard Keevy. I think if you follow this, you'll see that it's actually quite easy to implement. So I'll just explain what those steps are. So anyone who's ever sort of read any marketing books knows that there's 4 things you have to do. You have to have something good to say. You have to say it to the right people. You have to say it well, and you have to say it often. And that's fine. And you read the books and you say, oh yeah, that makes sense. But then you think, well, so what does that mean? Well, what it actually means is there's something good to say means that you must have something that means that there's a reason for your customers to buy from you rather than from your competition. Now, everyone thinks that's something called a unique selling point, which it is, but there's more to it than that, because actually it's a unique selling point here, but it's aimed at your target ideal customer or client. And it's aimed at what's called their hot button. Now, a hot button is basically what motivates them to buy. Generally, it'll be an issue, a concern that they've got that they want an answer for or a solution to. It could be a pleasure-seeking thing, but it generally tends to be an issue, a problem, a concern, something that's on their mind that they need a solution to. If you can identify what that is, and then you can address it in what your unique selling point is, and that makes it then into a market-dominating position, then that's the first of the 4 elements, and that's the something good to say. But the thing is, it's all very well having something good to say, but if people out there don't know that you've got something good to say that's better than what the others have got, then it won't do you much good, really. So you then need to say it to those right people, to your target ideal customers or clients. And the thing is, the great thing about having ideal customers is that you can be the specialist, the expert in that particular mini market or niche or target market. And the thing is, if you're the expert or the specialist, that's who people will buy from. So the second thing then is you need to know who your ideal customers are, and you need to know what motivates them to buy, what their hot button is, so that your something good to say addresses that. And that is a constant process. You're constantly finding out more about what your ideal customers want and what makes them want to buy, and then constantly refining and improving your proposition to give them more of it. But that in itself won't be enough, because you've then got to get the message out there that you've actually got this something good to say to the right person. And the way you get this out is you follow what's called the conversion equation. And what the conversion equation effectively says is that most people are walking around in what we call downtime. Now, what downtime means is that they're on sort of autopilot, which is fine, but you're not going to attract their attention unless you can get them into what's called uptime. And the way you get them into uptime is you have what's called an interrupt. Now, an interrupt is basically the first thing that you say if you're talking to them, or the first thing that's on any sort of promotional material that you use. And it's basically a headline. So your headline is an interrupt. And the thing is, what the interrupt does is it brings them out of downtime and into uptime. And there's various ways you can do it, but there's only one that really works well for small business owners. So big companies, they can do things like they can have an amusing headline, they can provoke curiosity, they can have something that's familiar like a celebrity. But that doesn't work for small businesses. What small businesses need to do is their interrupt has to be, this is your major issue or concern, the very thing that we've built our market dominating position around. So the first thing that you say or put in your literature is, I know that you've got